Here are my player ratings for the Glasgow Warriors for their loss to the Bulls in the URC semi-final at Murrayfield. A very disappointing, heartbreaking loss for the Glasgow Warriors. Before the season, a lot of people were saying they can win the URC and the Champions Cup, and to be honest, they had the potential to do both, but it's going to honestly go down as a disappointing season for the Glasgow Warriors. Unable to win the URC, the one they really wanted to get, and unable to win the Champions Cup as well. A very unfortunate way to lose the semi-final. At halftime, I thought the Glasgow Warriors going to run away with it. The Bulls have no chance of coming back. And I don't think I don't think the players played that bad at all either. I think it was just a very highly contested game, a very competitive game of rugby at the highest level. And this is the rugby we love. I mean, I've seen all the Glasgow Warriors fans in the comments being very humble in defeat as well, really taking the loss quite well, to be honest. But that being said, I can imagine the heartbreak, I can imagine the disappointment, because this team really was one of those teams that is a special team. It is a special group of players filled with international players, and with a group of players like this, you never know when it's going to be the last time for them to really challenge for the cup. But I have a sneaky suspicion this team's going to be around for a very long time, and they're still going to win the competition and really challenge in both the URC and the Champions Cup for years to come. But that being said, before we do get into it, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I really appreciate all the support. There's going to be so much more rugby coming up. So if you are a Scotland fan, there's still the Nations Championship coming up. I'm going to be doing player ratings for all the Tier 1 countries, match reactions, match previews and predictions. All the videos are going to be coming out. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Squad reactions, team reactions as well. So if you do enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button and hang around. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Patrick Schickerling. Now, Patrick Schickerling's had a very good season for Glasgow, but the Glasgow front row yesterday did get bullied a bit by the Bulls. So I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10 because he was still very good around the park. Honestly, he operates at a very high level around the park as well. I really do like him as a player. He's really kind of broken through in this year, and I've really seen a lot more of him. And to be honest, a few months ago, I didn't really know who he was or how he is as a player. Now I realize he's a very underrated player, a very good guy to have in this Glasgow team. But a 6 out of 10, he just couldn't get that kind of top tier performance we've seen from him before. Moving on to number 2, Gregor Hiddleston. I'm going for a 6 out of 10 as well. The whole front row for the Glasgow Warriors just weren't that good yesterday. They weren't operating at the level they should have. They did get bullied, and I have to kind of take the matchup versus matchup. Johan Grobler absolutely outplayed Gregor Hiddleston. But that being said, he's still a very good player. He's still got a long way to go in his career, but a 6 out of 10 for him. Moving on to number 3, Xander Fagerson. I'm going a bit higher. I'm going for a 6.5 out of 10. I thought he was quite good around the park, but that's what you expect from a guy like Xander Fagerson. One of the best props in open play in the world. His ball carrying ability is really good. He ran over a few guys as well. He's very physical. He's very good on defense. He's really mobile as well. I really enjoy watching him play. He doesn't play like a prop sometimes. Sometimes he looks like a prop. Don't get me wrong, he definitely looks like a prop, but he plays like a loose forward sometimes, the way he goes about things, or like a lock on the field. He's just really good. He's very busy. He's got a very hard working engine as well. He never stops going. I really do like that about him. But that being said, did get bullied at scrum time, did get bullied at set piece, and just, you can't say that that's the reason they lost, but that is a big reason why the Bulls started to get a bit more of an advantage as well in the second half. So 6.5 for Xander Fagerson. Not a bad performance from him, but as I've said before, in the international games for him, has to get more dominant when it comes to scrum time. Moving on to the lock, Scott Cummings, I've gone for a 6 out of 10. He was busy around the park, but just couldn't make that big impact. I will say, I think the loose forwards for Glasgow were quite decent, but I think the backline was where they really made the difference in the first half. Thought the forward pack did quite well. The forward pack with this Glasgow team is very mobile. They get around the park quite well. They spread it from side to side. They really are very versatile as well. But that being said, a 6 out of 10 for Scott Cummings. Not his best performance. He really needed to step it up physically, and I just feel like the Bulls forward pack were more physically dominant yesterday. That being said, I didn't even give the Bulls players that high of player ratings as well. It was just such an evenly matched game. There weren't really that many players having incredible games. It was just such a tightly contested, competitive match, which we love to see. So 6 out of 10 for Scott Cummings, and the same for Alex Samuel as well, a 6 out of 10. It might seem from these scores that Glasgow had a very poor game up front. I don't think they had a poor game up front. I think it was very evenly matched up front. I don't think there was that much in it up front either. I just think these guys, we've seen a lot more from them in recent weeks than what they produced yesterday in the game. So a 6 out of 10 for Alex Samuel as well. Not the best performance from the top 5, from the tight 5 for Glasgow. I will say the other guys in the team definitely did play well, but it doesn't go down to just the tight 5 not pitching up. I just think it's a whole bunch of things that happened throughout the game. The Bulls played really well in the second half. Glasgow played really well in the first half, maybe kind of using up all the energy, all the emotional power earlier on. Once you kind of start losing momentum in a game of rugby like this, it's very hard to get it back, especially against a good team like the Bulls. But moving on to Matt Fagerson, I've gone for a 6.5 out of 10. The Glasgow Warriors needed him to step up physically yesterday against that massive Bulls forward pack. He did it at times. In the first half, he was much better. In the second half, not non-existent. He tried his best. Things just weren't working out for Glasgow. So a 6.5 for Matt Fagerson. And honestly, the whole theme of the game for Glasgow Warriors is a big what if. What if they could have just hung on in the second half? They just looked like they weren't going to beat the Bulls in the second half. Once the Bulls got the lead, it looked like they were firmly in control, and the Glasgow Warriors just weren't finding a way back into the game. So 6.5 for Matt Fagerson. Moving on to number 7, Rory Dodge. I thought Rory Dodge was excellent yesterday. I'm going for an 8 out of 10. He was physically dominant the whole game. He was trying his best the whole game. His engine never ran out the whole game. He is an absolute workhorse. One of the best and most underrated players in World Rugby, without a doubt. I actually only started really watching Rory Dodge this year, and I've really realized and honestly come to the conclusion that he is one of the best players in the world on any given day. He is one of the most consistent performers as well. He is never going to put a foot wrong. He went toe to toe with the Bulls guys physically. He was honestly, it looked like the Bulls players and him were going at it the whole game. He was the one guy that stood out to me. He was almost in every ruck. He made an incredible amount of tackles. He made some dominant tackles as well. 8 out of 10 for Rory Dodge. Some things didn't go his way, but the performance he did put in and the kind of work ethic he put in, the work rate he put in, definitely deserves him an 8 out of 10. Moving on to Jack Dempsey. I've gone for a 6 out of 10 for Jack Dempsey. Maybe I'm seeing it differently. Please, in the comments, let me know if you disagree with some of these player ratings. Give me your player ratings down below as well. Also, let me know if you agree, or give me some explanations to why you gave some guys some scores different to mine as well. But I've gone for a 6 out of 10 for Jack Dempsey. He just hasn't been his dominant self since he's come back from his little injury. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's a bit rusty. I saw he tried to do this little footwork thing where he tried to sidestep the guys instead of just running it straight. Normally, Jack Dempsey gets the ball at the back. He runs it straight. He runs through guys. Just haven't been seeing that from him in the last few weeks. Maybe I'm seeing it differently, but not his best performance in my opinion. I feel like guys like Rory Dodge are really putting in better performances than guys like Jack Dempsey currently. And at the start of the year, I was saying Jack Dempsey is the best forward in the Scotland team. And I still do believe that. I think he's the best forward when he plays at his best. But I don't think he's been really at his best recently. And I would like to see Jack Dempsey definitely get back to his best, because that's very important for the Scotland team going forward. Moving on to the next player, not George Horn. We had Jamie Dobie at number 9, and I thought he did quite a good job as well. I've gone for a 7.5 out of 10. His box kicks were accurate. He was very versatile. His ball was really good. You can definitely tell that Glasgow was missing George Horn, just that kind of free-flowing aspect of him being a really high-quality international scrum off. He understands the game very well, but you can also tell that Jamie Dobie is naturally a scrum off. I know he plays on the wing as well. He's very good all around the field, and I think Jamie Dobie really did impress me yesterday. So a 7.5 out of 10 for him. Getting put last minute in the team like that. Obviously, he probably was made aware that he might have been starting early on in the week. We maybe just didn't know about that, but they really did miss George Horn. But still, a 7.5 out of 10 for Jamie Dobie. Moving on to Dan Lancaster, number 10. I've seen a lot of negative comments about him. At the end of the day, he's had a very successful season. He played for the Ealing Trailfinders in the championship. I think he played for Racing in France as well. He's come over to Glasgow. He's honestly taken the opportunity with both hands. It was not his best game yesterday. And to be honest, in these games, you need to have your best games. But the same can be said for the number 10 from the Bulls, Handré Pollard, who had an absolutely horrific outing yesterday. And I think I honestly do decrease my score to a 4 out of 10 for him. I gave him a 5.5. I probably should decrease it to a 4 out of 10 for Handré Pollard. I did see those comments as well. But I think Dan Lancaster really... He's had a successful season. He just didn't pitch up yesterday the way he could. And I think the Bulls put him under a very smart amount of pressure. They didn't just put all the pressure on Dan Lancaster. The kind of pressure they were putting on him was really smart. They definitely were watching footage of when Dan Lancaster starts making more mistakes than when he starts playing well. They really forced him into making those long passes, playing outside of his comfort zone. That's when he started making mistakes, and that's when the Glasgow Warriors started looking a bit more on edge. So not the best performance from Dan Lancaster, but he's going to come back from this. He will come back from this a much better player, and he was a very good signing for Glasgow this year as well. Maybe Adam Hastings should have started the game, but would Adam Hastings have made that much of an impact in this game? I'm not too sure. And if you look at the first half performance, he played pretty well as well, Dan Lancaster, in the first half. But moving on to number 11, Kyle Rowe. I've gone for a 7 out of 10. I thought the outside backs were really good from Glasgow. They just couldn't keep the pressure on in the second half. That being said, I think the Bulls outside backs also did very well yesterday. It was a very good contest. All of them around the 7 to a 7.5 mark, except for Kyle Steyn, of course. So 7 out of 10 for Kyle Rowe. A good performance from him. A great season from him. I cannot wait to see more of him going forward. Moving on to the other wing, we have Kyle Steyn and the captain. I'm going for an 8.5 out of 10. 2 incredible tries. Always putting himself in the best positions to score some good tries. And yes, it might sometimes look like he's just running over the line, but he's actually timing those runs to perfection, timing the whole momentum and everything. He works off his wing very well as well, and I think you have to give credit where credit is due. Kyle Steyn is one of the best wingers in the world this year, and he thoroughly deserves an 8.5 for this game. He was really good and one of the best players for Glasgow on the field. Moving on to number 12, Sione Tuipulotu. I've gone for a 6 out of 10. This might seem extremely low, but Sione Tuipulotu is Sione Tuipulotu. British and Irish Lion, Scotland captain as well. Sorry for that. British and Irish Lion, Scotland captain as well. One of the best centres, known as one of the best centres in the world. He just didn't impact the game the way we know he can. So very disappointing performance from him. Yes, in the first half, things were looking good. But when it comes to these big games, it's guys like Sione Tuipulotu that need to step up in the big moments as well. And that can be said for a lot of these players in the Glasgow forward pack as well. But a 6 out of 10 for Sione Tuipulotu. Not his best performance, but I cannot wait to see how he does against the Springboks later this year in South Africa. That's going to be absolutely awesome to watch. And I know a guy like him would definitely be very much up for the occasion. Moving on to number 13, Stafford McDowell. You can definitely tell in this game that Glasgow Warriors were missing Hugh Jones. Stafford McDowell's had a phenomenal season. He's been absolutely awesome. He has a massive engine, a massive work rate, a very underrated player. He's come through, probably will be a regular in the Scotland squad going forward as well. He's a massive human being as well. But you can just tell with the dynamic of the centre combination that the Bulls centre combination yesterday of Harold Forster and Kane and Moody, who's kind of built a good combination, definitely outplayed Sione Tuipulotu and Stafford McDowell. Just from a physical perspective, the first half, yes, there were some really good open tries. I think the Bulls got their defense kind of game plan wrong in the first half and really figured it out in the second half. But Stafford McDowell just was not at his best yesterday. So I've gone for a 6.5, a 6 out of 10 as well. Not his best performance. Both him and Sione Tuipulotu probably will go back to the drawing board together as a combination, because Hugh Jones is not going to be there next year. He's going to be at a different club as well. So Stafford McDowell and Sione Tuipulotu will be the centres going forward, and it's just about those guys building a good combination the same way Sione Tuipulotu and Hugh Jones have a very good combination as well. Moving on to number 15, Josh Mackay. I've gone for a 6.5 out of 10. I thought he was quite good. I don't think any of the backline players were really that bad from Glasgow. I think the Bulls forward pack just really got a lot more dominant in the second half. They just found their stride. The whole team in general just found that momentum. The ball never died. The Bulls were playing quick. They were taking their opportunities. It's not one person's fault in the Glasgow team at all. To be honest, I don't think the Glasgow team played bad in the second half. I thought they played extremely good in the first half. I just think the Bulls played extremely good in the second half. So there was a point in that game where I thought Glasgow is not going to score another point because the Bulls were looking really dominant. But there was guys like Josh Mackay and those guys, Kyle Steyn, somehow still finding gaps and finding ways for Glasgow to try still get in it. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be. But Josh Mackay's had a very good season for Glasgow. He's been really good all season. A very fun player to watch. And I cannot wait to see more of them going forward. So that is my player ratings for the starting lineup. Let's move on to the bench. Now I'm going to give the bench as a complete 1 rating. I'm going for a 5 out of 10 for the bench. The bench did not come on and make the impact we wanted to see from them, or what the fans wanted to see from them. The Bulls bench definitely outplayed the Glasgow bench. If you were to put them against each other, the Bulls bench was at like an 8.5 with some of the incredible performances. Glasgow at a 5 out of 10. So when it came down to the depth at the end of the day, the Bulls had more depth. The Bulls ended the game off stronger. Glasgow just couldn't end the game off strong. They couldn't have a good second half, and that does sometimes come down to the bench's impact as well. There wasn't that much of an impact from the bench. I thought the bench came on and just were the exact same or maybe even a little bit worse than the starters, where the Bulls bench came on and kind of took off where those starters that started off the second half were and just made it even better. So a 5 out of 10 for the bench from Glasgow. But let me know if you agree or disagree with the player ratings down below in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. I can't wait for it. Cheers.